After returning from my business trip, I discovered several pieces of luxury jewelry were missing. I initially thought we'd been robbed, but when I noticed some condoms missing from the nightstand, I realized Marcus had been letting a lover into our home. Eleanor already suspects you, and you still dared to invite me to your home? One night, during another business trip, the surveillance video showed my best friend, Grace, flaunting herself in my designer silk pajamas. Little temptress, you're here, aren't you? Don't worry, she can't leave me. Marcus, with practiced ease, reached for the nightstand and pulled out the gifts I had so carefully prepared for them. I gave a cold smile. Just you wait and feel the burning sensation of industrial-grade ultra-hot chili oil. Before we continue, please subscribe to this channel and tell us where you're listening from in the comments. Marcus, have you seen my Cartier bracelet? I left it right on the nightstand. I distinctly remembered taking off the bracelet and putting it on the nightstand the night before my business trip, but I searched everywhere multiple times and couldn't find it. This wasn't the first time I'd lost jewelry at home. From my vanity table, sometimes a necklace, sometimes a pair of earrings, a dozen or so pieces had disappeared in total, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Before, I just thought they were small items and I'd forgotten where I'd carelessly placed them. But now, thinking about it, could it be that our home had been robbed? No, are you sure you're not mistaken? Did you put it somewhere else? Marcus didn't even lift his head, continuing to stare intently at his phone. Impossible, I remember clearly, it was right here. Before I could finish speaking, my body stiffened instantly, and I stood there, stunned. Half the condoms in the nightstand were gone. This discovery was far more unsettling than a robbery at home. For the past 6 months, Marcus had always complained of back pain. He hadn't been intimate with me once. And I had always trusted his words implicitly. Eleanor, what's wrong? Marcus finally noticed I'd been standing there motionless for a while. Nothing, I'm just wondering if I left the bracelet at the hotel during my business trip. I forced a smile, subtly, and gently closed the nightstand drawer. I'll buy you an identical one later. It's fine. Some things, once lost, are just fate. No need to look for them again. Don't you agree, Marcus? I sat on the edge of the bed, staring intently into Marcus's eyes. If you say so. Marcus's gaze didn't waver. My heart felt hollow, as if steel needles were piercing my chest, leaving me breathless. Unable to sleep, tossing and turning, I went to my best friend Grace's home. Grace was my college roommate, and we'd known each other for nearly 10 years. She was my best friend, we even bought homes in the same neighborhood. She even borrowed half of the down payment for her house from me. Eleanor, what's wrong? Why are you up so late? Grace, still half asleep, opened the apartment door for me. Grace, I suspect. I had intended to say I suspected Marcus had cheated, but I swallowed the words back down halfway through. Grace was wearing the Cartier bracelet I'd been looking for all day on her wrist. She awkwardly pulled down her sleeve to cover it. Suspect what? I think I might have insomnia. I can't sleep, so I came to see you. I pretended nothing was wrong, bursting into her living room with my usual energy and collapsing onto the sofa. You two chat. Ethan, Grace's husband, who had been working overtime in the living room, smiled, nodded a greeting, picked up his laptop, and went back to the bedroom. You just work too hard. How many times have I told you not to push yourself so much? Come on, I'll have a drink with you. Grace, looking concerned, went to the dining room to grab a bottle of red wine. As she turned her back, she discreetly took off the bracelet and gently placed it in the wine cabinet. I don't have a husband who works hard to make money like yours. If I didn't work my butt off, Marcus would have starved to death long ago. I complained subtly, took the wine glass, and drained it. Thinking back, what exactly did I like about Marcus? Besides his melancholic charm and the bond we shared as childhood sweethearts, what else was there? His muscular physique faking back pain to avoid me, his lavish spending habits, his daily workouts and runs, and all the blush-inducing sweet talk he'd whisper to me. He never earned a dime, which is why I worked myself to the bone, allowing him to live in idleness and luxury. Well, that's all you're doing. Grace poured me more wine. Yes, it's all my doing. Grace, I'm truly afraid to lose you. Whenever I'm utterly exhausted, I always find strength with you. I suddenly grabbed Grace's hand. She flinched but quickly regained her composure. I'll always be your safe harbor in any storm. Grace hugged me tightly. I could hear her heart pounding. Grace, how I wished it wasn't you. I must be overthinking things. I misunderstood you, right? Back home, Marcus was lightly snoring. He had no idea of my late return. He had always been so confident, believing I would never leave him. I picked up Marcus's phone. Before this, I had never once thought of checking his phone. I didn't know why I trusted him so much. Searching his chat history with Grace, I found it completely empty. It wasn't Grace? I scrolled through his entire contact list. There was nothing unusual. Was I really just imagining things? Just as I was about to lock the phone screen and put it back, the green icon for a chat contact disguised as system caught my eye. This was Grace, disguised as system. The content in the chat box made my heart tremble. See me wearing Eleanor's lingerie, does it do anything for you? Followed by several sexy selfies of Grace in her own bathroom, posing in front of the mirror. So it wasn't just luxury jewelry had gone missing from my home, it was also several sets of my lingerie, which I hadn't even noticed were gone. So sexy, I want to strip you naked right now. Marcus replied with a string of suggestive emojis. You don't need to do anything, I'll do it myself. Then sent a video, in which she provocatively posed as she slowly stripped completely naked. What a little temptress. Why do you always like to steal Eleanor's things? You steal her jewelry, her bags, even her lingerie. I love everything about Eleanor. I want to own everything she has, including her man. From the day I met Eleanor, I envied her. But I knew I couldn't be her, so I decided to steal everything around her, little by little. Marcus, do you love me or Eleanor? I love Eleanor when we're out and about, but in bed, I love you. Come here, let me love you properly. My husband isn't asleep yet, I'll come once he's asleep. I couldn't believe my eyes. My face burned, my heart pounded wildly, and I had to press hard against my chest, terrified my heart would burst out. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I forwarded all their chat content to myself, then deleted the forwarding record before putting Marcus's phone back where it belonged. The man I loved most, my best friend, the two most important people in my life, had betrayed me. Together. They had been together for an entire year, and I hadn't suspected a thing. Eleanor, why are you up so early? Marcus woke up and saw me sitting blankly on the edge of the bed. I looked at Marcus. I had sat there blankly all night, my pajamas soaked through with tears, then dried again. Marcus, if you left me, how would I live? What nonsense are you talking about? How could I leave you? I'm stuck with you for life, I'll never leave. Marcus leaned over, gently cupped my head, and kissed my forehead. Why are your eyes so red? Didn't you sleep well? It's nothing, a few eye drops will fix it. I turned and got out of bed, sinking myself into the bathtub, feeling like a pathetic, cornered animal, only capable of escape. There's a problem with the project, an urgent business trip. I'm flying to Chicago this afternoon. I installed high-definition hidden cameras and a signal jammer at home. With everything prepared, I quickly packed my luggage and got ready for my business trip. You just got back and you're leaving again for another business trip? I haven't even had a proper hug yet. Marcus intimately hugged me from behind, like a clingy puppy. Once this project is done, it'll be fine. I'm too tired, I'm planning to resign. Resign? If you don't make money, what will happen to our family? Marcus frowned. Marcus, you're a man. It's time you took responsibility. Eleanor, but I'm your man. I know my sweetheart is too tired. Why don't you take a good vacation after your business trip? Marcus gently brushed aside my stray hairs, tucking them behind my ear. When his fingers touched my ears instantly felt hot. It was a sickening repulsion. Okay. I shook off Marcus's hand, pushed open the apartment door, and walked out. These past couple of days, I feel like something's off with Eleanor. Marcus sat on the edge of the bed, with only a bath towel wrapped around his waist. Eleanor already suspects you, and you still dared to invite me to your home? Grace emerged from the bathroom after freshening up. In front of Marcus, she untied my designer silk robe, letting it slide to the floor, leaving her in only my black lace lingerie. Little temptress, you're here, aren't you? Don't worry, she can't leave me. Are you really that confident? What if Eleanor actually finds out? Eleanor won't find out. Even if she does, she'll have no choice but to forgive me. She can't leave me, not in this lifetime. Little temptress. Come here. Marcus beckoned to Grace with a finger, and Grace provocatively climbed towards him. I sat in the car downstairs, watching the live surveillance video, then turned to look at Grace's who spanned, Ethan. Ethan, if you don't want your wife to be hurt, you can tell me to stop. Eleanor, do you think I still care if she gets hurt? I hate her. Right now, I wish she were dead. Ethan took off his glasses, leaned his head back against the seat, and 2 tears silently fell. All right, it's starting. Marcus, with practiced ease, reached for the nightstand and pulled out the condoms I had so carefully prepared for them. I had already injected industrial-grade ultra-hot chili oil into all the condoms in the nightstand. There would be no sensation at first, but moments later, it would become excruciatingly burning. I flicked the switch on the signal jammer, so they couldn't call for help. I had also emptied the refrigerator and turned off the water main, ensuring there wasn't a single drop of water in the house. Marcus smirked, completely unaware. I gave a cold smile. Just you wait and feel the burning sensation of industrial-grade ultra-hot chili oil. Ah. Marcus, what did you use? Ah. It hurts so bad. Grace curled up like a boiled lobster, her entire body bright red, clutching herself and writhing in pain. Ah. I don't know. What's going on? Marcus rolled directly onto the floor, his face slick with cold sweat, writhing everywhere. Listening to their blood-curdling screams, Ethan and I exchanged a glance and grinned, then burst into uncontrollable laughter together. Satisfying. So good. What a release. Exhilarating. As I laughed, tears streamed down my face again. It was all over. Everything between Marcus and me was over. Water. Marcus. Get me some water to wash it off, quickly. Grace was crying from the pain, reaching out and calling for Marcus. Come on, to the bathroom. Marcus tried to get up and help Grace, but as soon as he moved, the pain made him collapse again. Damn it. It's killing me. Grace, I can't get up. You crawl over here, quickly, crawl to the bathroom. Marcus, what the hell did you put on me? My whole body is on fire, I'm ing to explode. Both of them, gritting their teeth, screamed in pain as they used all their might to crawl towards the bathroom. But when they finally struggled to reach the bathroom and turned on the faucet, not a single drop of water came out. No water? Damn it, why now of all times? Marcus, call someone. Call an ambulance, I can't take it anymore, I'm dying from the pain. Call now. Grace huddled in the bathroom, trembling uncontrollably. Marcus gritted his teeth and crawled back to the bedroom, picking up his phone to dial an ambulance. He tried again and again, but the call wouldn't go through, there was no signal at all. How can there be no signal? Why is there no signal? I can't call out. Marcus screamed hysterically. Marcus, I'm dying, I'm really going to die, aren't I? Yes. Ice. Marcus, hurry to the refrigerator, find ice water, ice cubes, frozen meat, anything cold will do. Quickly. Grace erupted in blood-curdling screams again from the bathroom. Yes, ice water. Marcus slapped his forehead, as if grasping at a lifeline, and frantically crawled towards the dining room. But when he crawled to the dining room and opened the refrigerator, it was completely empty. I had placed a camera inside the refrigerator, pointed directly at Marcus's face. I clearly saw the despair in his eyes. Damn it. The refrigerator is empty. It's Eleanor. Eleanor is getting her revenge on us. Marcus finally understood everything, but it was too late. Marcus, think of something. I'm dying. I'm dying from the pain. Quickly, think of something. Grace was still screaming. What can I do? Let's go, to the hospital. Marcus shouted, but he was in too much pain to even stand up. I'm in too much pain to move. Grace remained huddled there, like a shivering, defeated dog. Eleanor, I never expected such a brilliant idea from you. It's so satisfying. Ethan looked at me, beaming with delight. Come on. Give me 5. I extended my hand, and Ethan slapped it hard. Let's go. The actors are all in place. It's our turn to make an entrance. I opened the car door and stepped out, walking towards Henry and Margaret, along with Marcus's relatives and friends, greeting them with a smile. Henry and Margaret, you're here. Eleanor, it's so late. What's this mysterious good news that you called us over for tonight? Margaret asked with a smile. When I invited them, I just said there was a mysterious celebration for Marcus tonight, repeatedly stressing that they must keep it a secret. And they had done a good job of keeping it under wraps. Margaret, come on, let's go upstairs. You'll know when we get home. Marcus has prepared a huge surprise for all of you. Let's go. I led the way, guiding the large group into the elevator. It was the same on Ethan's side. He had also invited all of Grace's family and relatives and friends he could gather, taking them up in another elevator simultaneously. After we exited the elevator, I deliberately put my index finger to my lips, gently shushing everyone to keep quiet. Everyone thought a special surprise truly awaited them, so they all tiptoed quietly, inching closer to the apartment door. I suddenly pushed open the apartment door, and everyone froze. Marcus was completely naked, struggling to crawl towards the bedroom. Henry and Margaret, what are you doing here? Marcus saw the arrivals and quickly lowered his head, covering his private parts with his hands in embarrassment. Seizing the opportunity, I quickly turned on the projector and began playing a looped video of Marcus and Grace's affair. Marcus, You bastard. Look what you've done. Henry immediately understood everything. He stepped forward and slapped Marcus hard. Henry, stop hitting me. Quickly, call an ambulance. I can't take it anymore. I'm dying from the pain. Call an ambulance. Marcus's entire body was still bright red. Meanwhile, Ethan had already rushed into the bathroom with Grace's family, and everyone saw Grace's pathetic, naked state. Oh, the shame. The disgrace. Grace, you've completely shamed our family. William's blood pressure surged with anger, and too ashamed to look at his daughter's predicament any longer, he stormed straight out of the apartment door. Some of Marcus and Grace's relatives, enjoying the spectacle, had already pulled out their phones and started taking photos and recording videos. Call an ambulance. I'm dying from the pain. Marcus, oblivious to the fact that he was being gawked at like an animal, screamed at Henry and Margaret. Grace, how could you do something so shameless? Do you think you're worthy of us, worthy of Ethan? Apologize to Ethan right now. Although shouted harshly, she didn't want her daughter's body to be picked apart by so many stares. She grabbed a sheet and wrapped Grace in it. Elizabeth. Ethan. Help me. Call an ambulance. Quickly, call an ambulance. Grace begged in a weak voice. It was only then that everyone realized something truly seemed wrong with Marcus and Grace's bodies. Especially in Grace's parents, who quickly pulled out their phones to make calls. At this point, the farce had largely achieved my purpose. I turned off the signal jammer, allowing them to make their calls successfully. After all, I didn't actually want anyone to die. Eleanor, you did this to me, didn't you? You're behind this, aren't you? Marcus finally spotted me in the crowd, his eyes filled with resentment as he questioned me. Marcus, are you out of your mind? Did I force you to cheat? Did I invite Grace here? You two cheated for an entire year while I was on business trips. Did we make you cheat? You two, you cheating couple, you had no self-control in bed. Who knows what perverted games you played to get your bodies into this state? Disgusting, isn't it? I mocked them deliberately, steering the conversation towards their lack of self-control. Wow, they really went wild, didn't they? The mistress can't even get up. Seriously twisted. Did you use some kind of extreme drug or technique? Probably took some pills, overdid it. Otherwise, how could they end up like this? Although they were all Marcus's relatives and friends, how close could so-called relatives and friends really be? With my guidance, they had already started discussing it without any restraint. With these people present, they would embellish and exaggerate everything they saw tonight, spreading it far and wide. You bastard. You have the nerve to talk about Eleanor. You did this, and you still dare to speak? Apologize to Eleanor right now. Henry slapped Marcus twice more, all the while giving him meaningful glances. Henry, of course, knew his son. For years, I hadn't just earned money to support Marcus, but also his parents. Naturally, they wouldn't want to lose their cash cow. A blindly loyal fool like me, you wouldn't find another one in this world, even if you searched with a lantern. Eleanor. I was wrong. Only then did Marcus realize that the reason this farce was unfolding was because I had changed. I was no longer the Eleanor who usually endured everything silently, defended him at every turn, and couldn't live without him. I ignored Marcus's apology. The home was in chaos, and I slipped away. Soon, ambulances wailed as they arrived downstairs. Henry and Margaret, along with William and Elizabeth, hastily threw some clothes on Marcus and Grace, who were then lifted onto stretchers and carried into the ambulances. The show was over. The remaining relatives and friends dispersed, discussing the events animatedly. Only and I were left in the home. Eleanor, what are your plans next? Ethan sat on the sofa, looking a bit forlorn, taking off his glasses and rubbing them. First, I'll get divorced. As for what comes after, I'll take it one step at a time. I sat next to Ethan. We, two people similarly hurt, felt a certain mutual understanding in that moment. Eleanor, after the divorce, would you consider? Stop R. Aye there. Don't say another word. Ethan hadn't finished speaking, but I quickly cut him off. The atmosphere had already become a bit ambiguous, and I couldn't let that ambiguity develop further. Honestly, though, Ethan was quite handsome and spirited. In fact, his looks and demeanor were somewhat similar to Marcus's. Perhaps, when Grace chose her men, she was subconsciously trying to emulate me, or perhaps it was a rivalry, so she deliberately picked a man who resembled Marcus physically. And, comparatively, Ethan might actually be the better fit for me. Grace always secretly competed with me in everything, which is why Ethan worked so hard, achieving success in his industry and providing Grace with a good financial foundation. Not long after Ethan and Grace got married, he repaid me the down payment money I had lent them. Ethan and I were both the ones in our families who worked hard to earn money and support the household, while Marcus and Grace were the privileged parasites who lived off of us. With them together, if you have those kinds of thoughts, what will people think? They'll assume there was something going on between us all along. I don't want to give anyone more to gossip about. Eleanor, I understand your concerns. What I mean is, we don't have to rush things. If, at any point, you're ready to explore another relationship, you can consider me. Ethan lowered his head, a little embarrassed. Ethan, let's think about other things once the dust settles. Do you want me to recommend my divorce attorney to you? She's a top-tier divorce attorney, absolutely professional and efficient. I quickly changed the subject. Did I even have the energy to start a new relationship? I didn't know myself and certainly didn't dare to promise Ethan anything. The only reason we could sit so close together at that moment was our shared misfortune. Yes, please send it to me right away. I also hope this whole thing ends soon. I just worry that Grace won't agree to a divo. RC easily. If she doesn't agree, then sue. As the at-fault party in an infidelity-based divorce, Grace doesn't have the upper hand. Plus, I can lend you a hand. Oh? Over the past year, Grace repeatedly stole hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of my valuable jewelry. She even foolishly wore them, took photos, and sent them to Marcus, leaving behind evidence for herself. I'm going to call the police. The amount stolen is substantial, so Grace will be sentenced. Suing a criminal for divorce will be much easier. What? You don't want her to go to prison? I watched Ethan, his head bowed in thought, remaining silent for a long time before I prompted him again. After all, they were married. Perhaps I really don't want to see her go to prison. However, it's come to this point. What good is misplaced kindness now? Eleanor, you decide. Whatever you do, I won't stop you. I'll wholeheartedly agree. Ethan looked up. Although his eyes seemed a little tired, there was a sparkle in them. You're right. Misplaced kindness is useless, it only becomes a weapon for others to mercilessly attack you. The next day, I arrived at the hospital with the divorce papers. Eleanor, you're here, come sit. Henry and I scolded Marcus all night. That scoundrel truly realizes his mistake now. He was just blinded by desire, momentarily led astray. Won't you forgive him this one time? Margaret saw me and eagerly took my hand. I'd like to speak with Marcus alone for a few minutes. Could you please step outside? I didn't call her mom, because she no longer was. All right, you two talk. If you need anything, just call us. Margaret hastily pushed Henry out of the hospital room. Eleanor, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me this one time? Marcus lay on the hospital bed, his lower body covered by a large suspended sheet. He probably wasn't wearing anything underneath for ventilation. Still hurting? I lifted the sheet, glancing with a morbid curiosity, but all I saw was gauze bandages wrapped around it. Before entering the hospital room, I had consulted with the doctor. Marcus had undergone skin graft surgery. While the underlying function wasn't completely damaged, it would require several months to recover after the operation. Moreover, the grafted skin would likely never fully regain its previous function. In other words, if Marcus ever wanted to have sex again, first, it would be impossible to return to his previous state, and second, every time he tried, he would have to endure endless pain. It hurts so much, but the physical pain is nothing compared to the pain in my heart. Eleanor, I know you're angry, you're furious, you hate me, but thinking that I made you like this, my heart aches. Eleanor, I'm sorry, I was truly wrong. As spoke, his eyes reddened, and tears welled up. All right, Marcus, cut the act. I didn't come here to listen to your nonsense. Let's get divorced. Here are the divorce papers, sign them. I placed the divorce papers on the nightstand. Marcus seized the opportunity to tightly grasp my hand. Eleanor, I won't sign. I won't sign. I won't divorce you, I absolutely won't divorce you. You can forget about leaving me in this lifetime, I will never let go. Marcus took my hand and placed it on his chest. I couldn't stand his cliched sweet talk anymore. It was laughable to think how charmed I used to be by his words. I forcefully pulled my hand away. Marcus, wake up. It's not about what you want anymore. I'm here to inform you, not to negotiate. If you sign, it'll be easier for both of us. If you don't, I'll have no choice but to sue for divorce. As the at-fault party in an infidelity-based divorce, do you think you have a chance? I've hired a top-tier divorce attorney, and she told me that if it comes to suing for divorce, she has 100 ways to ruin a scumbag like you. I don't want to go that far. So, out of respect for our years together, sign the papers, leave with nothing. Gee, and I might still have some respect for you. Who knows, maybe I'll even change my mind someday. But if you refuse to sign and insist on going to court for divorce, you'll be pushing me to the brink. After that, we'll truly be enemies. I placed the divorce papers on Marcus's chest and handed him a pen. I won't sign. Marcus forcefully threw the papers and pen far away. Eleanor, you've already gotten your revenge on me. You've turned me into this wretched state. Isn't that enough satisfaction? You've done this to me, and I haven't said a word. Now you want to divorce me? Eleanor, what do you want me to do to make you calm down? Just sign the papers honestly, and once we're divorced, I'll calm down. Marcus, tomorrow I'll send someone to pick up the divorce papers. You'd better sign them. Otherwise, I'll sue for divorce directly and make public all the good deeds you've done over the years. You'll have to fend for yourself. With that, I turned and walked directly out of the hospital room. Eleanor, don't go. Please don't go. Eleanor, darling, there's a deep bond between a married couple. Men make mistakes sometimes, but married life has to continue. Marcus loves you, he'll only ever love you. As his father, I know him. Just calm down, don't talk about divorce so easily. Outside the hospital room, Henry stopped me. Actually, I'm not angry at all right now. You'd both better convince Marcus to sign, or else, once his reputation is truly ruined, he probably won't find another woman in this lifetime. I didn't engage with Henry and Margaret any further, I just turned and left. I bought a bouquet of flowers and went to Grace's hospital room. Grace's hospital bed was almost identical to Marcus's, with her lower body also covered by a high, raised sheet. Grace turned her head away, afraid to look at me, while I casually placed the fresh flowers into a vase next to her hospital bed. Eleanor, you're here to gloat over my misfortune, aren't you? See? You did this to me, you must be thrilled, right? Grace finally turned her head, fixing me with a venomous glare. Grace was also burned and festering, though she would recover somewhat better than Marcus. Medical science is advanced now. Many plastic surgery clinics could completely reconstruct her, even make her look better than before, if she had the money. But without Ethan, who would pay such a large sum for Grace? Marcus? Yes, I am truly happy now. Grace, my happiness isn't from seeing you like this, but because I've finally recognized you're in Marcus's true colors. Before this, I always considered you and Marcus the two most important people in my life. Grace, can you understand this feeling? What does it feel like to be betrayed by the two most important people in your life, together? I can tell you, it's hundreds, even thousands of times more painful than what you endured last night. I sat beside Grace, looking into her eyes calmly and pleasantly. Eleanor, I'm sorry. This was my fault. Grace actually shed tears. For a moment, I couldn't tell if they were crocodile tears. Grace, you don't need to apologize to me, because I don't accept it. Don't you like to steal my things? Want to possess everything I own? You won't be able to steal anything else, but as for Marcus, I'm giving him to you. I wish you both a lifetime of happiness together. I smiled faintly at Grace and left the hospital room. In the end, Marcus did sign the divorce papers. I had already packed all his belongings and sent them directly to Henry and Margaret's home. After was discharged from the hospital, we went directly to the county's office to finalize the divorce. Eleanor, I'm sorry, but my heart has always belonged to you. Give me another chance. This time, let me truly pursue you and take care of you, okay? Outside the county's office, Marcus again pleaded with me. Marcus, it's all over. Some things, once lost, are not meant to be found again. That's fate. After was discharged from the hospital, she was immediately taken to the police. The police had already found the stolen goods at Ethan's home, and with the evidence I provided, Grace was quickly sentenced. Ethan and Grace's divorce certificate was issued while Grace was serving her sentence. Just as Ethan had anticipated, Grace tried every trick in the book to avoid a divorce, but after receiving special attention in prison, she had no choice but to agree to it. I sold the house, resigned from my job, and decided I needed a good rest, so I embarked on a cross-country road trip. What a coincidence. At a rest stop in Sierra, Ethan suddenly appeared behind me. Ethan, are you following me? No, it's a pure coincidence. How about we form a convoy for the rest of the trip? We can watch each other's backs. Alright, but just a convoy, okay? Don't get any ideas. After that, we both chuckled at the same time. Thank you for listening to today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your views, And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.